OnePlus 8 Pro in your hands, another thing that will speak for itself is the amount of color you'll see. The OnePlus 8 Pro display supports 10-bit color depth. That means instead of seeing the same 16 million colors you would get in most smartphones, we're bringing you a billion colors, with a B. This makes images and HDR videos richer, more colorful, and much more lifelike. So yes, you're getting way more color than before, but you're also getting much more honest color than before. It all comes down to JNCD, or just noticeable color difference. Like your golf score, the lower the JNCD, the better. And we're the best. Any JNCD below 1 is imperceptible to the human eye. But we've taken it further. The OnePlus 8 Pro has a JNCD of 0.4, which means that the colors you see on your phone are practically identical to the same colors you see in real life. 120 Hertz. That's the refresh rate of the OnePlus 8 Pro. Now, in very simple terms, that just means the display refreshes 2 times faster than a 60 Hertz display. But in reality, it feels infinitely smoother. So what does this actually look like? Well, it's pretty obvious. And it's also way more responsive. When you touch the display, the feedback is immediate, only 24.6 milliseconds. How do we make it so responsive? Well, first, the OnePlus 8 Pro has a 240 Hz touch sampling rate, which is great, but not enough. Our secret weapon is the OnePlus Smooth Chain. So we approach product development like a chain. Every link in this chain has to be strong and it has to work together, or else the chain's going to break. Our end goal is to make sure our hardware and software work together as smoothly as possible. Now, most videos, unless directed by Ang Lee, are not shot at 120 FPS. They're shot at either 24 FPS or 30 FPS. So how can you take full advantage of this gorgeous 120 Hz fluid display? The answer can be found on something as small as a grain of rice. It's our custom MEMC chip. MEMC means motion estimate motion compensation. Basically, it inserts 1 or more additional frames after each original frame in the video to make it look much smoother. You can choose either 60 FPS or 120 FPS, or you can even turn it off in the settings. "120 Hz QHD fluid display, A+ rating, a billion colors, best smartphone display in the universe." I mean, what more could you possibly ask for? How about an amazing camera? With the OnePlus 8 Pro, we're giving you just that. In fact, this is the biggest camera upgrade we've ever delivered in a OnePlus phone. The OnePlus 8 Pro has a 48 megapixel main camera with a custom-made Sony sensor, a 48 megapixel ultra-wide lens with a full 120-degree field of view, a telephoto lens with 3 times hybrid and 30 times digital zoom, and a unique color filter camera. This is the first ever quad camera setup on a OnePlus phone. We worked together with Sony on a custom IMX689 sensor, the largest and most high-tech sensor we've ever used. Now, the bigger the sensor in your camera, the more light it receives, which decreases noise and increases dynamic range. And dynamic range is especially important to give your images more detail. Now, like I just mentioned, this sensor is super high-tech. It has dual native ISO, which is usually found in professional cinema cameras and reduces noise in low light. It also has 2x2 on-chip lens, which gives you the power to detect horizontal, vertical, and diagonal textures to give you more accurate focus, even in the dark. Now check out the detail and the color in these sample shots. And then there's the ultra-wide camera. Now you can get a much wider 120-degree field of view. Unlike most other ultra-wides, the OnePlus 8 Pro doesn't compromise on image quality. We've used the flagship level Sony IMX586 sensor, which gives it 48 megapixels, just like the main camera. Now that is the most in any smartphone ultra-wide camera. And most impressive with 48 megapixels, you can also get much more detail even when you zoom in. Now that larger sensor has another advantage too, and that's ultra-wide night shots. Now you can get clear, sharp images even in the dark, just like in this comparison with the iPhone 11 Pro Max. The OnePlus 8 Pro also has a telephoto lens with 3 times hybrid and 30 times digital zoom. And we've also added a 4th camera on the OnePlus 8 Pro, a unique color filter camera that enables you to express the artist within through lighting effects and filters. Okay, but enough about the photos. How about video? Nobody wants a shaky video. So the OnePlus 8 Pro is equipped with hybrid image stabilization, combining OIS and EIS for much more stable videos. And we've also included 3 high-precision microphones that reduce noise when shooting video to capture clear stereo audio. And we also have audio zoom, which lets you zoom in on the sounds you want to amplify, and audio windscreen, which automatically minimizes wind sounds when you're recording. And when you're shooting a video, lighting is one of the biggest challenges. And with backlight, it's practically impossible to get a clear face and a clear background at the same time. But with 3 HDR technology, we've solved that problem for you. With its advanced sensor, the OnePlus 8 Pro can weave together 3 different exposures into one frame with a higher dynamic range, filling in both shadow and well-lit areas for clearer, more colorful details. Now this was recorded with an iPhone 11 Pro Max, which some people claim has the best dynamic range in any smartphone. And this is from the OnePlus 8 Pro. We'll let you be the judge. So that's the OnePlus 8 Pro camera system. Faster, smarter focusing. An ultra-wide camera with flagship image quality. Dynamic video powered by 3 HDR for even the most difficult lighting conditions. This is a camera system designed to open up your world a little wider and make sure that every photo and every video you take captures exactly what you want. And now let's dig into the rest of the specs. The OnePlus 8 Pro is powered by the Snapdragon 865 mobile platform. It comes with up to 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM, which is almost 30% faster than the previous generation, with 20% lower power consumption. It also comes with up to 256 gigabytes of UFS 3.0 storage. And because the OnePlus 8 series is leading with speed, we've equipped the OnePlus 8 Pro with Wi-Fi 6. That gives you 40% faster peak internet speed, and is 4 times faster in crowded areas. Now with top-of-the-line specs and an immersive 120 Hz fluid display, we believe the OnePlus 8 Pro is There's no doubt that the OnePlus 8 is a true powerhouse. But that's not all we have to show you today. I'm excited to introduce you to the counterpart of the OnePlus 8 Pro, the pure OnePlus 8. Impeccable polished design, vibrant, smooth display, flagship performance, 5G, all in a sleek, compact form factor. I mean, that sounds pretty much like a dream phone. And many of you must be thinking the exact same thing because you've been asking for a very long time. Well, now you have it with the OnePlus 8. Let's first talk about design, something we take a lot of pride in. OnePlus has always been known for the amount of attention we pay to the details of our design. We're constantly looking for ways to optimize our software to be as fast and responsive as possible. We also engineer our hardware with refinements that are so minute, you may not even notice them unless you know what to look for. This is what we call burdenless design, meaning that with every choice we make, we ask, how do we avoid imposing on the user? How can we design our products in a way that frees you to achieve what you want? Well, that's what we're doing with the OnePlus 8. We're bringing you the very best of OnePlus design, distilled into a beautiful, smaller form factor. And for years, we've heard a lot of people in the community asking for a more compact OnePlus phone, a true flagship that's just a bit easier to handle. Now, for us, compact doesn't simply mean slapping a smaller screen onto a smaller body and calling it a day. Many people want a smaller phone, but nobody wants to sacrifice performance or beauty just so their phone fits better in their pocket or their purse. And I know you don't want to weaken your Instagram game by buying the wrong compact phone. You want a powerful flagship phone that feels small enough and light enough in your hand, but still has a full view display with enough screen real estate to let you get lost in your Netflix binge session, or to better judge the interior design of your colleagues' homes on Zoom calls. You want it all, and hell, you deserve it all. And with the OnePlus 8, we're giving it all to you. So let's take a closer look at the size. The OnePlus 8 has a full 6.55-inch display. And with slim bezels on both sides, we've managed to get it down to just 72.9 millimeters wide. But how does that stack up to some of the other phones on the market? Well, for the sake of comparison, the iPhone 11 Pro Max comes with a 6.5-inch display, but it's a pretty massive 77.8 millimeters wide. The OnePlus 8 is nearly 5 millimeters narrower with a similar display area. And the iPhone 11 Pro, which has a 5.8-inch display and is widely considered to be a compact phone, is almost the same width of the OnePlus 8. But let me remind you that the OnePlus 8 has a much larger screen for those Zoom calls. At the same time, we've also shaved the thickness down to a mere 8 millimeters. That's thinner than the iPhone 11, 11 Pro, and 11 Pro Max, almost as thin as a pencil. We also gave the OnePlus 8 shorter and tighter curves along the sides of the display compared to the OnePlus 7 Pro for a grip that's both more comfortable and more secure. Now, personally, my favorite part of the design, the OnePlus 8 is amazingly light. We've optimized the internal components to reduce the weight to just 180 grams, making it one of the lightest flagship phones you can find anywhere on the market. It's 46 grams lighter than the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Now that's like taking 2 car keys off a heavy keychain. And it's also 14 grams lighter than the iPhone 11. I mean, seriously, this thing is light, you guys. And not only is the OnePlus 8 incredibly light, thin, and ergonomic, but it also comes in style. The color options include the same sleek onyx black and the beautiful glacial green that you've just seen for the OnePlus 8 Pro. But there's another stunning choice for the OnePlus 8. We call it Interstellar Glow. Now, seeing it is one thing, but actually getting it in your hands is something totally different. It's not just any one color, but a whole spectrum of otherworldly light captured in glass. From every angle, the colors and the feeling you get are always different. And that's because of the technology we use to make this possible. The phone includes color in a layer of film, but also in the glass itself. So mixing these two layers produces this unique gradient that gives you such a wide array of colors from different angles. Now, when I talked to our photographer about this phone, he said it's the most difficult phone he's ever shot because it constantly changes depending on the light. He said he took about 1,000 photos of the phone, but when he went back to look at all the photos, it was like he took shots of 1,000 different phones. So when you get this in your hands, give it a try. Take photos of all the different colors that you see in the Interstellar Glow phone, post them on your Instagram or Twitter, and at OnePlus so we can see as well. Now that same beauty extends right around into the screen. The OnePlus 8 brings you an industry-leading display, even in its more compact form factor. The OnePlus 8's gorgeous 6.55-inch display is sized to a cinematic 20:9 aspect ratio, giving you more real estate to devour content while still being very comfortable to hold. It has a peak brightness of 1,100 nits, helping you see the screen much better in direct sunlight. It also comes with both HDR10 and HDR10 Plus certification to take color accuracy and contrast to the next level. We calibrated each panel for color accuracy and achieved a JNCD rating of 0.4. That's that just noticeable color difference that, if you remember, we nailed on the OnePlus 8 Pro. Well, like the OnePlus 8 Pro, the OnePlus 8's JNCD is also visually indistinguishable from perfect. That means that the OnePlus 8 gives you pretty much the most accurate color on any smartphone out there. In fact, we let DisplayMate run it through their entire battery of tests, and the results were very impressive. It received an exceptional A+ rating, while setting or matching 10 of their performance records. In key areas like brightness and color accuracy, the OnePlus 8 performs better than almost any phone in the industry. That's pretty amazing for this compact beast of a phone. Now, high-quality displays have kind of become our thing. Last year, we brought you the world's first QHD+ 90Hz fluid display in a smartphone. And since then, many others have followed suit, and it's easy to understand why. But a true fluid display depends on much more than just the display itself. Any manufacturer can use a similar display, but the results won't match our standards. To really make the most of those higher refresh rates, everything needs to work together. Now here again, the OnePlus Smooth Chain system comes into play to make the most of the hardware. So everything about the OnePlus 8 is optimized for that fluid movement all throughout the system, from the processor to the software, so every part of the phone comes together and moves in sync with you. Oxygen OS, co-created with our community. That lightweight, seamless software experience you've come to love. A smooth operating